And we are recording. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to talk?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. We just saw Solo. Maybe we're 20 minutes out of the movie. So this is our first, well, somewhat first reaction to it. So, Erin, what did you think of Solo?
Very, very nice.
I'm telling you, Disney is so far a perfect record. They've released Episode 7, Episode 8, and Rogue One, and any other movies? Episode 7, Episode 8, Rogue One, and Solo. They're 4 for 4. They're 4 for 4, Disney. I'm talking about movies. I don't think I've read any of the books yet. But movie-wise, this was great. I didn't want to know anything about this movie except for the trailer. So I just wanted to go in as blind as I could, with the exception of the trailer, and I'm kind of glad I did. And I thought it was great. I really liked it. It was a good, fun movie. It had some meaningful moments. It was smart in how it showed that Han was a gambler and how people manipulate and betray each other. I thought it was great. What did you think, Erin?
I really enjoyed it. I guess I was a little bit naive in expecting people to be more nice than, because like in the early, episodes 4, 5, and 6, people had like good qualities and ethics and morals, and whereas in this one, like Woody Harrelson's character and everything, like everybody just stabbed each other in the back.
Yep.
There was no ethics and morals and whatnot. So I kind of forgot about that.
Well, the only exception to that was in Empire Strikes Back, where the person who stabbed Han in the back was Lando.
That's true.
So, who obviously was in this movie, and Donald Glover I thought was great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of, I don't know the names of the actors, but what did you think of the guy who played Han?
He was cool. I was surprised at how much he looked like Harrison Ford.
Really?
I thought he did a little, yeah.
There were some moments, like when he was firing the gun, like he took on the pose of him. So there were moments where it's like, okay, I can kind of see Harrison Ford, but for the most part, he didn't.
No, I mean like his facial structure, like his bone structure in his face.
Yeah. I mean, there was some glimpses of Harrison Ford, but, I was able to suspend disbelief after a while. It's like, okay, fine. He didn't have the same inflection as Harrison Ford has a very monotone voice to him. And as did Han Solo in the Star Wars movies, played by Harrison Ford. But when you get past that, I was able to suspend disbelief with him.
Okay.
Chewbacca had the same inflection, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So, and what did you think of Donald Glover as Lando?
Oh, I mean, they couldn't have got a better person for it, honestly.
Go ahead.
I don't know. God.
Well, I was worried watching the trailer because, Donald Glover's same thing. His voice and inflection doesn't match Billy D. Williams. Billy D. Williams has, a musical quality to his voice.
Yeah.
So, a couple of the lines from the trailer, I was like, oh, I don't know if he even sounds like Billy D. Williams. But once you saw Donald Glover in action as Lando, you saw that he was he was a great choice looks-wise to play a young Billy D. Williams, but then when you saw him in action...
He's just so suave.
Oh, yeah, and he brought out that suaveness, if that's even a word. Is that a word?
Shit is today.
Yes, shit is today.
I said, that was me, pausing.
Yes!
Another version of an in
right.
my vernacular.
Wow, you have unique ums.
Yeah, well, that's how I roll.
Yes, but, So Donald Glover was good. So it's curious, they dropped a criticism I do have of the movie, and I understand why they did it, is that the reuniting of Qi'ra and Han was just oh wow, isn't this a coincidence? It's a huge galaxy, and all of a sudden Han just happens to run into the one crime syndicate that happens to have his long-lost love.
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit...
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I get it, you gotta reunite them fast, and who wants to know, who wants to spend waste the time of them getting together? Okay, fine, they're together. That was just kind of all right.
It's too easy, almost, or...
Yeah, and they,
too convenient.
It was very, very convenient, so I was like, oh, okay. But I put that past me. I did like, Woody Harrelson's character, and it showed how dangerous a lifestyle being a criminal and a smuggler is.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly looking over your shoulder. You don't know who to trust. You can be betrayed at any minute, and you can be killed at any minute too. I also liked how they showed. So we were discussing this in the car ride on the way home, but we were trying to figure out where in the timeline that this takes place, and because I didn't research the movie at all, I'm not sure, but it's obviously after episode 3.
Maybe that article I shared.
I didn't read it because
I'm saying maybe that would tell you.
Maybe.
Because it was really long. I didn't read it either.
Yeah.
I glanced at it and was like, my eyes were glazing over. I was so tired. But, yeah.
The only Solo article I read was about how Donald Glover fans took over a Donald Trump subreddit and made it a Donald Glover subreddit. That was the only Solo-related
That's so
story.
Random.
Yep. And my friend Steve texted me a meme of it showed Donald Glover is Lando shooting a stormtrooper in the head, saying "This is the Empire," which is a takeoff of Donald Glover's of Childish Gambino's "This Is America" video. That's the only thing I knew about. I got to show you that video. It's really good, but like it's a takeoff of that video. So, but timeline-wise, it's obviously after episode 3 because the Empire's in action, but it's before Rogue One because there's no rebellion in place.
Right.
So it's gotta be, maybe if I had to guess 3 years before Rogue One, which is like right before episode 4. So that's what I'm guessing. Maybe 5 years before that, because I think they're gonna make other Solo movies. So if they give that time, they can show what happens in between that time,
and more wiggle room.
Give it more wiggle room, give it more years, and so we can find out what happens to Qi'ra. So now apparently in the new canon, Darth Maul survived. He survived episode 1, and I knew this just from watching Rebels. It showed Darth Maul was back. In the old storyline, I believe Darth Maul was dead. So Darth Maul apparently is the leader of this Crimson. What was it called?
I want to say Crimson Tide.
No, that's a basketball team.
I know.
Yeah, but the Crimson whatever. So, but it's great to see Maul back, and I think it was the original guy who played him. At least it kind of looked like it was. I
mean, pretty much, if you put anybody in that makeup and they look close enough.
Yeah, I know, but that would be great if it was Ray Park, the original guy who played him. So that's great. That's great they're continuing the Maul storyline, because the Maul storyline, spoilers for Rebels, the Maul storyline ended at Rebels, and the Maul storyline was great in that. Excellent in that. So that's good. Like, it's just, this movie is just teasing that there's going to be more. There's got to be more. I want to see more of a relationship with Han and Lando, because it probably shows them like a love-hate relationship. Now, I don't think a lot of the theater caught it, but there was a line where Lando said, "I hate you."
Yeah.
And the crowd was laughing too much because of what happened before that, but Han, after Lando said, "I hate you," said, "I know."
Yes.
So that was great. So they had all these little touches, these little callbacks to the original movies, and I don't know where these mixed reviews are coming from. I thought it was great.
I feel like everybody is gonna find something to nitpick.
Yeah, I know, but even if it's the best movie ever, people are gonna find something to nitpick. But I think like this movie, at least critic-wise, wasn't well received. At least according to Newsday on Long Island, they got 2 out of 4 stars.
Whatever.
And I usually agree with Newsday's reviews. But I think on Rotten Tomato, it's like a 75% score.
Yeah.
Which is good. So, but I hope they go. I hope they go into more of Lando's relationship with his droid, because they kind of planted.
That was weird, but I don't think they're gonna go back to that.
Well, they might if the droid's essence or whatever is in the ship. But
Lando doesn't have the ship anymore.
I know, but you figure you'll see Lando involved with the ship when they make other movies. And the fact that Lando mentioned his mother,
right,
in a sentence, leads me to believe that if there's going to be more Solo movies or even Lando movies, they're gonna build on his relationship with his mother. He didn't know his father, but he knew his mother, and he loved his mother. So I don't know. Maybe
did she ever make an appearance in any other movies or any other anything? Okay.
No. You've seen Lando and everything. You've seen because Lando was in episode.
I don't think he ever mentioned his mom or anything like that.
No, he never did. Yeah. So that builds up on that. It showed Han's relationship with his father, or lack thereof. It showed that Han grew up on Corellia and grew up around ships, so that's why he knew the Falcon. His father built a ship like that, so maybe that's why Han was drawn to it. It shows, which is kind of cool, Han's similarity to Kylo Ren in the fact that Han wants to be a bad person. He even said to Qi'ra, no, I'm a bad person, I'm a terrible person, but he's always drawn to do the good thing, even though he's capable of doing terrible things, which Han's a criminal. You know, he is going to do terrible things. From Solo to Episode 4, they're probably going to show him do some not so ethical things. But
he'll feel really bad about it.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. But then it also shows that like Kylo Ren is the same way. He wants to be bad in the worst way, but he gets pulled towards being good. But the difference with Kylo Ren is that he really does some irredeemable things. So, and then it shows. I'm glad that Chewbacca had, because Chewbacca in all the movies, he's had moments, but his character isn't really fleshed out that much. And I think we got to know Chewbacca a little more in this one. What do you think?
I mean, kind of. It definitely showed that It definitely foreshadowed the bond between him and Han Solo, when he chose to stay with Han over being with his own people, which is what he had said that he wanted to do, was find his tribe.
Right.
So the fact that he sacrificed, I don't know if that was his, quote, tribe or whatever, but it was his people, and I'm pretty sure that, like, his planet, like, was destroyed, or there weren't that many Wookiees left, or something.
Well, again, in the translation, maybe Chewbacca was looking for a tribe instead of his tribe. You know, maybe he was looking for a gang to be with. Or I know, and it's not fair to call out the books, especially now, because the books that I've read are considered legend. They're not considered true anymore. But Wookiees have what's known as a life debt. So if you save them, they're indebted for you for his life. But I don't know if the Disney storyline is going to continue.
Yeah, I think I remember. Yeah, I remember that from other ones. But
yep, but maybe Chewbacca, you know, this is the life that he wants, obviously. So, like I said, they left it open for some more movies, and I really hope more movies are made. I think this movie will do well at the box office.
Salud.
Thank you. It's went up against Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2 opened the previous week, so I think that made its money this week, and then I think Solo will overtake it. So, and what'd you think of the women roles in this movie? You had Qi'ra, you had, I don't know her name, but I'm gonna sneeze.
Here's a shocker.
Yes. The woman who played Woody Harrelson's love interest, she's in Westworld. I forgot her name in Solo. It was her, and there was the droid. So,
and there was the leader of the whatever Marauder Rebellion.
Yeah, the Enfys.
I first thought that she was Woody Harrelson and the other woman's daughter.
No.
Because she does strike a resemblance to that other woman in a way that she could be her daughter.
Yeah.
Because they have similar hair and similar skin tone and the freckliness. But that's what I thought at first, but I was wrong.
Right. Yeah, if she was Woody Harrelson's daughter, he would have said, "What? What are you doing?" Blah blah blah.
Or I knew, he was in on it all along.
Yeah. But I like how they laid the foundation for the rebellion.
I was surprised because for some reason I thought the rebellion had started like a generation before. I don't know why.
Episode 3 showed the formation of the Empire, and Rogue One kind of showed the alliance was there.
Yeah.
So this was obviously before anything was being formed. Well, Rogue One showed resistance towards, you know, the Empire and the Stormtrooper, but there was these little ragtag groups, and this was before Rogue One, so it's got to be a couple of years. Because
it's got to be like, I mean, just looking at the actors' faces, it's got to be at least 10.
Yeah. You know? So if
they
this
were
is
so young.
Yeah. So if this is before Rogue One, and there was somewhat of rebellion, this is no rebellion at all.
Right.
So yeah, I'll have to check the timeline on that. But so what'd you think of the women in this and how they were portrayed?
They were strong, but there wasn't as much as like the last movie we saw.
Episode Last Jedi. Well, it is a movie called Solo,
right?
So you knew Han was going to be the main character, but I don't know. I thought they had at least what's her name? Woody Harrelson's girlfriend wasn't in it for that long,
right.
But I thought Qi'ra was a good counter to Han, because they both came from the same place, but you know, she's taking one path, but she still has feelings for him. So, and I say when, I don't say if. When there's other Solo movies, I think we're going to see that relationship take hold. That's what I think, and that's a good dynamic to have, and a good dynamic to follow. So, when Woody Harrelson's character died, I didn't know at first that Han shot him. I thought that maybe, you know, Qi'ra shot him from the ship or something.
I thought that somebody else that was coming after Han shot him.
Yeah, because you didn't see the gun. I think Han shot him, because you didn't see the gun in his hand after he drew, and Han knew how quick Woody Beckett, his name was, I think, how quick he was on the draw. So, and this goes to the whole Han shoots first.
Yeah.
Meme that started because Lucas changed Episode 4 in the original version of Episode 4, Han shot first with Greedo, and it showed how ruthless Solo was, and he had to do what needed to be done. But Lucas tried to change Episode 4 and had Greedo shoot first, and it never looked good, and Han was defending himself, which Lucas tried to do that after the fact, and it never looked good because it didn't make sense with the Solo character. So I'm glad they brought that back as well. And you know what? Even though obviously we knew that they would all survive, there were still moments where I'm like, well, how are they going to get out of this? You know, it was Ron Howard and his direction made it seem like, wow, how are they going to get out of this one? You know, it made it seem that they're constantly hanging on by a thread. They're constantly trying to survive all the fucking time.
Yeah.
You know, which I couldn't live that kind of life, you know, as a smuggler and as a risk taker.
Yeah.
No way. I can't. What about you?
I mean, after what I've been through lately, hanging on by a thread and barely making it, I'm kind of used to that.
Yeah, but you're not excited by it, are you?
No, I was miserable.
Yeah. So I think the difference is that Han and Chewie and their ilk, that's what they love to do.
Well, I guess there's also a prize at the end of the tunnel, or a potential prize at the end of the tunnel.
Possibly. But you're constantly with the threat of being killed. Yeah. You're constantly looking over your shoulder wherever you go when you live that kind of life.
True that.
You know, it's not just it's the Empire that's after you, but it's all the gangs, all the syndicates, all the organized crime that's after you. You know, because you're betraying people, you're getting betrayed. It's one thing after another. People are looking to steal from you. So, and I think they illustrated that well within the movie.
Yeah.
So, and I like how they showed the gambler that Solo is, the gambler that Calrissian is, and I love the introduction of the Millennium Falcon. And I saw it with my nephew, and I thought he was gonna have a heart attack when he saw Darth Maul come on the screen. He was like shaking in the seat, going, "Oh my god, oh my god!" Even if I got spoiled, it's like I know Han's not gonna die. Obviously, well, not gonna die in this movie. But, you know, I want to be surprised by certain things. And, you know, with the internet and with people, it gets harder and harder, you know. That's why, like, I don't believe in conspiracy theories, because it's so hard to keep a secret with a fucking movie. Imagine trying to keep a secret of something gigantic.
Exactly.
You know, it gets out eventually.
You hear that, people? Conspiracy theories are bullshit.
Yes.
Stop believing them.
Yes. So, but, and I like how they alluded to Tatooine, how Jabba how Han's gonna go to Jabba and start his relationship with Jabba.
Yeah.
I like how they had the dice, the allusion to the dice, where the dice actually started in episode 4.
Oh.
And it was just a little thing that Lucas planted because Lucas did American Graffiti. And I never saw American Graffiti. It's about like racing cars in the 60s and fancy cars.
Okay.
And there was, I think, the foam dice in American Graffiti. You know how the old cars used to have the hanging from the rearview mirror? So I think Lucas planted that in episode 4 as something that Han had on the Millennium Falcon as a tribute to American Graffiti. So Rian Johnson from episode 8 took that and planted the dice in episode 8 as a tribute not only to Han, but as a a vehicle to, well, this was Han's, and then, Leia had it in her hand, Kylo Ren had it in his hand,
Kylo Ren had, I don't
yeah, in episode 8 there was like, the dice disappeared in his hand. So it's an allusion to Han, and I'm glad they showed the history of that and they kept planning that. So, and what'd you think of the droid, L3?
That was cool.
Yeah, she was like...
It was cool that she was like...
she was militant. She was such an activist droid.
What the fuck is the word?
What?
Cognizant?
Oh, well...
Omniscient?
No. She was sentient.
Thank you. That's the word I was
in that she wasn't just... a programmed appliance.
Right.
She had personality where, more and more in the Star Wars universe, you see droids with personalities, and that's when, when they're not wiped, I would imagine, they start to develop some human personalities. But I wish we would have known why the relationship with Lando was like that. And
how she became so...
Yeah. So, I don't know, I guess that's what prequels and books and stuff like that are for. But it would have been nice to know a little bit, but, then there are some things you have to cut out in the movie. But I guess it's good to have a little mystery with that every once in a while.
Fun fact, the actress that played that droid did not know what a droid was when she auditioned.
How do you not know what a droid is?
I don't know, but apparently she lives in a box and had no idea what she was auditioning for.
It's funny, the voice of L3 sounded a lot like the woman who played Captain Phasma.
What I was thinking the whole time.
A lot like Captain Phasma.
Even on the commercials, I was like, wait, did they recast? And then when I read about the other thing, I was like, oh, okay, I guess not.
She did sound a lot like Gwendolyn Christie.
Yeah, so. It was weird.
Yep, but...
But she didn't just voice it. They put her in a suit with, sensor things. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And she had to wear the helmet on her head.
Wow.
And one time she had to pee and she, needed help, and it was really embarrassing. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought the special effects were good. For the most part. There were some CGI characters where it's like, oh, whatever. But, I liked the action. I liked the space travel when they were in the Kessel Run. The Kessel Run, for people who are really into Star Wars, is a pretty special thing. Because the Kessel Run was mentioned in episode 4 by Han. He said, the ship did the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs. And then in episode 7, they alluded to the Kessel Run when Rey said, oh, this ship did the Kessel Run in 16 parsecs. And then Han said it was 12, So I like how they finally showed the Kessel Run after seeing episode 4 1,000 times, hearing Kessel Run, it's like...
It's good to know what it is.
It's like, wow, they did the Kessel Run. It's similar to in Star Trek with the, what's the name of that? In Wrath of Khan, it's killing me. In Wrath of Khan, there was something that, was it in Wrath of, in Wrath of Khan, there was something that you couldn't pass at all because you failed every time you took it. It was an academy training exercise, and then Captain Kirk figured it out. He cheated, but he beat it, and I'm forgetting the name of it, and it's killing me. But in the Star Trek prequel, they actually showed that. So I think I'm getting my Star Trek lore right. But it was that kind of thing, or it's like, oh, okay, oh, damn it, I forgot the name of it. But no matter, this is Star Wars, not Star Trek. So, and I what'd you think of how Han Solo got his name?
That was cute.
Very similar to, in Ellis Island.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
Yeah, where they would just give people the names of cities, or, if you looked a certain way, they gave you that name. So
my last name is New, so that might have been something.
Maybe your ancestors were new to America.
Like everybody else that went through Ellis Island?
I don't know. Yes. So, but yeah, I thought that was good. And I like how they showed hints of the Empire, the TIE fighters going against the Falcon. You know, all this was good, man. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, I don't know, I still have to process how this ranks in all the other movies. So, it's better than all the prequel movies. I might have liked Rogue One better. It was a different tone. This was more, I guess, swashbuckling. Not as dark as Rogue One. I think Episode 7 was better, but this was still great. This was still great. This definitely better than the prequels. It's up there.
Everything's better than the prequels.
Yeah, I think so. But this definitely ranks up.
Definitely a top 3. Top 4?
I don't know. Yeah, I gotta. Well, I mean, there's the original movies, which they're not. Solo isn't as good as the original movies.
Yeah.
But still good nonetheless. So, yep. Anything else to say, Erin? Oh yeah. So about the women in the movie. Yeah, I thought they were strong characters. They weren't damsels in distress. They did their own thing. You know, they didn't depend on any male characters. There was a romantic interest, but it made sense. And Qi'ra wasn't just used as a romantic interest. Neither was Woody Harrelson's girlfriend. I'm sorry, I don't know the character's name. So I thought they all had things to do. They weren't just, set dressing.
Yeah. So
I thought that was well done. And Lawrence Kasdan, who wrote Solo, I believe wrote Episode 7, and he also wrote Empire Strikes Back. So, it's good sense of adventure. So, but all right. So I think that's it. Mm-hmm. Anything else to say, Erin?
The character with 4 arms.
Yes.
Woody Harrelson's whatever he was.
Rio.
I liked him a lot.
He was great, and it was. I wish he would have lived a little longer because,
Me too.
Like, I got an attachment to him right away.
Me too.
Yep, but I guess it just reflected just the danger of that smuggler's lifestyle. But I was like, wow, this guy is really cool. But it made sense. This, he was a pilot, and the pilots have to be killed in order for Han to fulfill his destiny.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. Right. So, I hope everyone will fulfill their destiny, even though I don't believe in destiny. But I do believe in this podcast. So if you believe in this podcast, please rate and share and comment. So it brings the podcast more attention and more people get to listen. Yay. And even if people don't listen, I don't care. I'm still going to do it. So where can people find you, Erin?
I guess you can find me on Twitter, ERUNUEVO.
Cool. And I'm on Twitter. My name is Mike Lane. I'm the host of the Music, Movies, and More podcast, which is what you're listening to. And I can be found on Twitter at Mike Lane Act. That's MikeLaneAct. You can find me on Facebook at Mike Lane Actor. And you can email me at mikelaneact@yahoo.com. So thanks for listening, everybody. I love you. Haha, you see what I did?
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
Okay.
And may the Force be with you. Even though there was no Force in this movie.
True.
I still want it to be with you. All right? All right. Bye.